Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the studio. It is Monday morning and it is time to chat about what all those kids are doing in classes this week. Let me adjust my camera a little bit. It's a little early this morning. I'm usually not live quite this early. I usually wait until I finish my storytime art class. But today I thought I would go live before class. So it's just how my day lines up. Let's get it done. Ready? We're going to dive right in to those preschool classes. So this is technically week 4 video. And if you've been watching along, you know it's a weird month because day 1 was on a Thursday. So I do have some preschool classes this week, even though it's week 4, that are wrapping up their month and they're light and dark. So they'll actually be doing all the stuff we talked about in week 3's video. So they're going to be doing that freight train activity and the shadow tracing and the last day of black light and dark play. That will wrap up their month. Remember, our preschool and our toddler classes only meet 3 times a month, and so they'll be done after this week. Thursday and Friday classes don't meet this week for preschool because you've already had your 3 classes, and we will see you, believe it or not, February starts next week. Crazy. So those are our preschool classes. If you have questions about your schedule, hang on, let me back up a second. My preschool people especially are affected by off days because they only meet 3 times a month. So if you have questions about your schedule, you can always reach out to me, and that's fine. There are other places that you can look and find that information as well. We try to talk about it in videos like this. You can go into your Sawyer account, and it actually populates what your class schedule is just for you, just yours. You don't even have to worry about anybody else's. It just has your schedule. And the instructions to do that are on our website. If you look at our For Current Students page, best way to find that, you can use the search feature at the top corner, or you can go all the way down to the footer, and in the quick links that's always there on the bottom of every single page, it says For Current Students. And if you click that, it'll tell you how to get to your schedule. Okay. Here we go. Multimedia classes. This is always the longest part of the video. I love this picture. I forget who took this. I think Miss Laura took this because this is the Tuesday night. Miss Grace is teaching, and she has, you can see all those giant multimedia paintings up on the wall, and they're discussing or having a critique and talking about the next steps and what needs to be added, maybe how the composition is lined out, maybe how the colors pop or don't, right? Because some colors have high contrast and some colors are lower contrast if they're right next to each other on the color wheel. So this discussion that's happening here, the kids actually worked on a vertical surface this week, I think, because those paintings are so big. And I brought some today, so I thought I'd show you them. We'll see how well this works out. I'm going to wait a second to lift them up, though, because once I do, you can't see me because it's so big. But these paintings are 18 by 24. They spent the first week doing their background, just getting a good coat of color and texture on. Their second week, they got organic and geometric shapes added and figuring out kind of a composition or a focal point. In week 3, which was last week, the artists worked on getting marks. So that's a visual texture, line and mark. And then this last week, they're just gonna add their finishing touches. So there will be a lot of thinking that has to happen. Okay, what does this need? What is the next step? How do I finish this? Abstract art, you don't even have to finish. You could just keep going, but eventually we have to finish because we have to move on to printmaking. But I thought I'd show you. I know this is, whose class is this? This is Liz's class for Thursday. So let me turn off the green screen. I don't know what's going to happen when I do that, but that way you can see green stuff. How's that? Background. I have a green screen. Okay. I don't know. Well, maybe that may make it worse. Okay. We'll just leave it on. Okay. Hang on. I'm going to figure this out. There. We'll just stop the share altogether so you can see these pictures. So this one here, and I don't know which direction they go because, but I'm going to keep them horizontal landscape just because of the way the camera works. But you can see we've got all these different layers of paint and color and texture going on. Our acrylic paint is a high gloss, so it has some shine to it, which makes it kind of hard with the ring light I have going on for the video. Hang on, I got another one. So some of our artists may decide that their colors need more vibrancy to them, so they might make another coat on top of some of their colors, or they might like that you can see through them. Just depends. You can see all these great details. In week 4, the artists will get to use black and white paint. So we haven't used black and white yet. We've only used colors. Isn't that fun? This has all of the artwork has a taped border. So when we pull off that blue tape, they'll have a white border around it. Last one. Are those fun? So we have, I don't know, 80 or so of these just hanging around the Liberty Studio in progress. And they're so fun to see. They're the kids' own expression and style come through in abstract art. So I'm going to go back to my virtual background here. Give me a sec. And then we're going to slide to where we need to be. There we go. Okay, and I got to turn the green screen back on because it does funny things to my hair if I don't. There we go. Okay, we're back to where we're at. So those are the giant abstract paintings. My Thursday crew will finish theirs this week because they'll add those. That's a Thursday class that I showed you. They'll finish with black and white and details, little tiny brushes, going back over colors that they want to pop, deciding what their focal point is going to be, and finishing it up. My Monday, Tuesday people, they still have one more week because they still go next week. The month of February starts on Wednesday. So you still have week 4 to happen next week to wrap those up. But your Thursday people should be taking those home. If they don't, it just means that they weren't quite done with it. We will move on to printmaking next Wednesday. So if you're a Thursday class and you don't take it home, or you're a Monday, Tuesday class and you don't take it home next week, just know that you need to come in for a makeup session and get those wrapped up so that we can finish that artwork for you. Okay? And those are available on Wednesday nights. You can find that in the footer of the website. It's the best place to find that information. You want to talk about the other people's? All right, I brought some other stuff to show you. We're gonna have to get rid of the green screen again because I want you to be able to see these better. So my pet portraits, people. Oh my gosh, they look so good. So they have been working on, I'm turning it to the side because the light is kind of blowing out all the great details. Here, I'll turn the light down so you can see it. Look at all of those amazing paint details that are happening. This is step 3. So this is what we talked about last week. We talked about what the kids were going to do. We said they were going to block in color. So you notice there's not a lot of details, like there's no fine details in the eye. There's just some kind of fuzzy coloring. You can see we've got a little bit of value going on. That's light and dark. We have a little bit of hue changing. So we've got something here that's a little bit warmer and rosier, and then a little bit yellower kind of throughout the body of our puppy dog. So I want to show you the blocking in step, and then we'll talk about what's next. This is another good example of blocking in. Hang on, let me get rid of the green. He has a green background on this one. Oh, see, that won't work. Because then it just sees this as part of the green screen or as the virtual background. I'll tell you. All right, here we go. You can see this one here. We've got just a start of what the colors are and where those are placed inside our picture. But it's very flat. So the next step is going to be to take a teeny tiny brush and start doing fur, to start doing shadows, to start doing the details in the eyes. And that's really hard because everybody wants to go detail first, but we got to get it blocked in first. Here's another great example of kind of a roughing in. So our pet portraits are coming along. This is week 3 progress. They will finish this week. Everybody paints at a different pace. So somebody might be a lot closer than somebody else, especially if they took a little bit longer to draw it out. Maybe they, didn't start painting in week 2 like we had planned. They were still drawing. So if they need more time, that Wednesday evening is available to them to come in, and we'll reiterate again that if they're not available on Wednesday evenings, we set aside that time just because it works well for most people. But if it doesn't work well for your family and you need more time, you just have to talk to us. You can talk to your instructor, although I know it's really hard on class night. So it might be best just to send me a message, and we'll work together to figure out a time that works. It might be that they come into class a little bit early. It might be that they stay after class a little bit late. That's okay, especially at this part in the paintings, because they don't need much from us. They just need paint and time. So they can sit in class while another class is going on and paint. It's fine. We've got plenty of us here on a weeknight where we can have somebody kind of working in the corner of the classroom. It's not a problem. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep the green screen down because I want to show you these, and it's green. So these are the fruit still lives for the middle school high schoolers, and I want to show you their progress. So last week we talked about that they were blocking in the lights and the darks. So we have just black and white. And this week they're going to be putting in all of the color. So I wanted to show you the progress on the black and white because it looks amazing. The color will be in a glaze, so it'll be a thin layer of glaze. So you'll still see the underpainting under, like, the black and white underneath it, which is so cool because it solves the value problem. Like, they can take one value of yellow and in a glaze run it over the bananas, and you'll still get the shadow that shows through. So they don't have to worry about a dark yellow and a light yellow because the underpainting does that job. So kind of cool. And then they have to solve the background. So that's a lot to do in week in week 3, and like those of us who are finishing week 3, so your Monday students. My Monday and Tuesday people are finishing the value. Thursday people should be finishing color, starting and finishing most of them. So it might be a tight one and they might need some extra time, although I'm sure we'll have some fast painters that finish. And the background won't take long because for most people, they're just going to, I keep turning it the wrong way, it goes this way. For most people, they're just gonna, you can see she's got I don't know who it is, I'm sorry. But they've got the horizon or the tabletop figured in, and they'll paint something this way and something this way so that it grounds it and sits on it. But we're really excited about the way that those paintings are turning out. There's some very talented kids in that class, and that was a fun exercise. All right, let me go back to the video here. That's the last time I have to do that. We won't have to stop the share after that. Okay, ready to move along. So that was multimedia, kiddos. Like I said, it's kind of weird because it is week 4's video because Thursday's finishing, but weeks or Mondays and Tuesdays are still in week 3, and you still have classes tomorrow or next week as well. Printmaking for multimedia starts next week. Crazy. So we will wrap up this acrylic painting lesson and then move on to printmaking. So I'm excited. In next week's video, I'll share you all the printmaking projects that we have going on. Printmaking is, I love it. I think it's wild and crazy and fun. But what's cool about printmaking is, unlike something like pet portraits, which challenges your drawing skills, and a lot of art kind of required drawing as a prerequisite, printmaking not so much. So it's a fun process because, I mean, not everybody needs to know how to draw to paint to be an artist, believe it or not. And printmaking and fiber arts or sculpture, like you don't need those skills. So other people who maybe couldn't be successful in pet portraits or struggled with that step will succeed in others. I like printmaking. All right, I'm going to show you some drawing stuff. So it is week 4 of drawing, and I pulled some pictures. This is actually from week 2 because my Monday and Tuesday crew were doing week 2, and I didn't get good pictures in week 2 for Thursdays. So We talked about the still life, and I thought this was a great example of it. So look back here, the one closest to my shoulder here, and you can look right up here and kind of see the stuff on the table. There's like a black and red and white Chiefs hat, and there's some gloves sitting on the table, and lots of texture and pattern going on and details. So when you set that at a table, it works your powers of observation. And this was week 2 still life. And then there's a really great close-up of one of our 102 artists doing their still life. So I thought those were great examples. Week 3 artists did snowflakes, and we worked from our imagination. I didn't have any 102 artists to pull because we don't have that class on Thursday here in Liberty. We have it on Tuesday, so it's not happening until this week. But I did pull some of our 101s. And of course, they colored it in green. We're gonna have to outlaw green colors here. So you can see the great details and patterning that had to happen, right? As we draw from our imagination, use it. Like it doesn't give us the answers. We have to pull from a library of images that we've seen sometime in the past, plus our own creativity. It's a totally different muscle than when we draw something like that still life right there. So that was our snowflake lesson. Mondays and Tuesdays, 101 and 102 advanced realistic. We'll do that this week. And then in week 4, which starts Thursday, it's our wild card week. So we didn't get to do this in December, and we didn't get to do it in November because of the holidays, but we did do it in October, and we did it in September. But our wild card week is a chance for those artists to go back through their book and finish a drawing. So something like this still life over here that, an artist really enjoyed, but they couldn't get it done in the 90 minutes of class, and they want to go back and finish it, or they want to add color to it, or they want to go back to that snowy landscape and finish it, or maybe they want to revisit it. Maybe they did it, but they didn't really love it, and they want to tackle it again. So week 4 is a chance for them to finish a drawing in their book, to revisit a lesson and redo it, or to get help on something else that they're working on, whether it's a piece for the art show, or for our 102 artists, it's like their comic book that they're working on. So it is a more open class time, but it is not a party. It's not a free for all. We're not just free drawing the entire time. I mean, they have to have a plan on what they're going to accomplish and what they want to work on. So I like it, especially for our artists who have that need to finish a drawing, and we don't always get that chance in class, because you'd be amazed how fast an hour goes. So week 4 is our wild card week, and we'll be doing that in this week's classes for all of them, 101, 102 comic, and 102 advanced realistic. My comic classes in week 3, I pulled a book, but I think I pulled the wrong one. So but they did color. Yep, I didn't. I was like, I pulled one that I thought had really good value study, but it wasn't value study. I don't know what I was thinking. They did colors, so they got to play with all the different color applications. So they did inks, like markers and acrylic inks, and they did color pencils, like layering and blending and burnishing colored pencils, as well as how to mix markers. So it was an interesting class. I think we talked last at our staff meeting on Friday about taking that lesson and actually spending an entire month on color instead of just one day, because we felt like it was a little bit rushed, and they didn't really get to dive into every single media. So obviously any 102 artists that want to do that for their week 4, they can continue to explore color and find out which color application they prefer. All right, housekeeping stuff as we wrap up. We are, as a team, looking for more people to join us. We are 18 strong right now, which is crazy. That's the biggest staff we've ever had, and we need more. So the class sizes continue to grow. Our summer programming has grown. We've added to that, and we need bodies. We need teachers who can join our team and be awesome for us. So if you know anyone who might be interested in part-time work, we would love to have them. We're a fun group of people to hang out with, and we have some fun kids that come here every week. So if you could help us spread the word, that'd be great. There will be social media posts this week about that. The summer sneak peek is going on now. Well, it'll be going on in 10 minutes. I guess it's only 10 minutes to 9 right now, but every day this week, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m., there will be a summer sneak peek. It's like a special look or a preview into summer programming. We don't reveal everything. We kind of put out a couple of our favorites. So today there's a really good one coming out specifically for our teens, which is exciting because our programming in the summer usually is geared towards the K through 5 or even pre-K through 5. So it's nice to see this one really focus in on those artists that are a little bit older and still looking for some community in the summer. So we're excited to offer that. Check that out. That'll happen today. And then there'll be 4 other sneak peeks. You'll want to make sure to tune into Fridays because Fridays is the coupon. Okay. Don't miss that. All right. And then the last is just to save this date, April 23rd. Details are coming, but we are having a student art show. So we'll get you more information, but just kind of mark it on your calendar. We'd love to have everybody join us. Okay. And that's everything. So if anybody needs me, I'll be around the Liberty Studio all week this week. You can send me an email or a Facebook message. Otherwise, I hope everybody here has a fantastic week, and I will chat with you next week.